Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kroy Biermann leans on faith while mending his marriage. Kroy Biermann is leaning on his faith while mending his marriage to RHOA alum Kim Zolciak. The two called it quits after over 11 years of marriage. They then proceeded to throw hard jabs and accusations at one another. Yet the couple decided to call off the divorce and try to mend fences. Now it seems that Kroy is hoping his faith will get him through all of the drama. How? Read on for all of the details. It was pretty shocking when Kroy Biermann and Kim Zolciak announced that they were getting divorced. They seemed pretty in love and happy together. However, there were some cracks in the marriage. Over the last year, the couple had amassed over $1 million that they owed to the IRS. It came to the point where their Georgia mansion was getting foreclosed on. This was supposed to happen in 2022. Luckily for them, it was moved to 2023 and their house was then supposed to head to auction, but Kim and Kroy somehow dodged it. Soon after that, they filed for divorce with Kim requesting primary and physical custody of their 4 minor children. Kroy Biermann doubled down and wanted sole custody with Kim out of the home. He then wanted her to have a psychological evaluation and accused her of having a gambling problem. She requested that he get drug tested, so there was a lot going on between the two. Finally, this stopped and they decided to come back together. It might not be so easy for Kroy, as he shared something telling in his Instagram stories. Kroy showed what seemed to be a Bible verse with the word faith over it. So even though he is working through things with Kim Zolciak, it is more of a challenge than he may have anticipated. Clearly, it cannot be easy to forgive and forget all of the things they said and what came out. More so, Kroy had accused his wife of punching him in the head, which she denied. There's a lot to unpack. Kroy Biermann's social media is pretty vacant and does not have much content. However, Kim Zolciak's is pretty full, but she has yet to put back her married name on her Instagram profile. Additionally, she has very few photos of Kroy back up on there. So it seems that, even though they have reconciled, all might not be as well as they portray it to be. Do you think that Kroy Biermann's faith will get him through this time with Kim Zolciak? Or does he need more than that? Let us know in the comments below. The sun was just beginning to rise over Atlanta, its rays breaking through the horizon like promises of a new beginning. For Kroy Biermann, the dawn symbolized hope, a rare commodity in the stormy seas his life had become. He stood on the deck of his modest home, gripping a cup of black coffee. The aroma did little to soothe his nerves, but the ritual calmed him. The past few months had been nothing short of grueling. Headlines flashed his personal life across tabloids, social media trolls dissected every detail, and the public weighed in on his marriage as if it were a reality show script. But this wasn't reality TV. It was real life. Inside the house, the faint hum of activity began. Kim Zolciak, his wife of over a decade, shuffled through the kitchen. Their marriage had always been a mix of fireworks and tenderness, but recently the fireworks felt more like explosions. They had faced the brink, teetering on the edge of divorce. Papers were drawn, lawyers called, and tears shed. Yet here they were, together, trying. Kroy had always been a man of faith, though he rarely spoke about it. His NFL days were filled with pre-game prayers and locker room chaplains, but faith was a quiet, personal journey for him. In the aftermath of their public marital struggles, however, he realized it wasn't enough to keep it quiet. Faith, he decided, needed to be the cornerstone of their rebuilding. The turning point. The decision to mend their marriage came during a moment of vulnerability. It was a late September night, one of those evenings when the air hinted at fall but still carried summer's warmth. Kim had come to him with tear-streaked cheeks and trembling hands. "I don't want us to end like this," she had whispered. Her words cracked open a dam in Kroy's heart. For all their clashes, for all the missteps and miscommunication, they still had love. It wasn't perfect, far from it, but it was real. That night, Kroy did something he hadn't done in years. He suggested they pray together. Kim hesitated. Faith wasn't something she leaned on often. Her life had always been about hustle, determination, and making things happen. But she saw the earnestness in Kroy's eyes, the quiet plea for something bigger than themselves to guide them. So she agreed. In the dim light of their living room, they knelt. Kroy's voice was steady but filled with emotion as he asked for strength, patience, and clarity. Kim's amen was soft, almost inaudible, but it was a start. Building the new foundation. From that night on, they began incorporating faith into their daily lives. Mornings started with gratitude journals, where they each wrote 3 things they were thankful for. Kim often struggled at first, her list peppered with simple things like coffee or a good hair day. But over time, her gratitude deepened. Kroy found solace in attending a men's Bible study group at their local church. It wasn't something he advertised, but the camaraderie and shared struggles of the other men reminded him that he wasn't alone. He wasn't the first husband to face challenges, nor would he be the last. Meanwhile, Kim started exploring meditation and scripture reading. It wasn't always easy for her. She had a habit of scrolling Instagram instead of flipping through the Bible app. But slowly, she found herself drawn to verses about forgiveness and love, facing the hard truths. Faith wasn't a magic wand that erased their problems. They still argued. There were nights when the silence between them felt as thick as fog. But their renewed spiritual focus gave them tools to navigate these moments differently. Kroy learned to listen, not just to hear the words Kim was saying, but to understand the emotions behind them. He realized how much she needed reassurance, how her bravado often masked deep insecurities. Kim, on the other hand, started to see Kroy in a new light. She noticed his quiet acts of devotion, the way he made sure her favorite snacks were stocked, how he never missed their kids' school events, and how he held his temper when he had every right to explode. They also sought professional help. Therapy became a non-negotiable part of their journey, with their counselor encouraging them to face the root causes of their conflicts. Faith gave them the courage to tackle these issues head-on, even when it was uncomfortable. A community of support. Their renewed commitment to faith also brought unexpected blessings in the form of community. Neighbors who once seemed like distant acquaintances began offering words of encouragement. Church friends invited them to couples retreats and family picnics. One such retreat proved transformative. Held in the serene hills of North Georgia, the weekend focused on reconnecting with one's partner through trust exercises and spiritual reflection. Kroy and Kim arrived apprehensive, unsure if they could even spend 2 days without bickering. But as the retreat unfolded, something shifted. During one exercise, they were asked to write letters to each other, expressing their deepest fears and hopes. Kroy's letter was raw, admitting his fear of failure, not as a football player, but as a husband and father. Kim's was equally vulnerable, revealing her fear of being unloved once the spotlight dimmed. Reading those letters to each other was a turning point. They realized how much they had been operating out of fear rather than love. Moving forward. Today, their marriage is far from perfect, but it's stronger than it's been in years. They've made a pact to continue leaning on faith, not just in the good times, but in the hard moments that inevitably come. Kroy has found a new purpose in mentoring young athletes, emphasizing the importance of character as much as skill. Kim, meanwhile, is using her platform to share snippets of their journey, hoping to inspire others who might be struggling. As the sun sets over their home one evening, the two of them sit on the deck, watching their kids play in the yard. The chaos of their lives hasn't disappeared, but it no longer feels insurmountable. Faith saved us, Kim says, her voice soft but resolute. Kroy smiles, his hand finding hers. Faith and a lot of hard work. And so they continue, one step at a time, leaning on each other and the belief that love, when nurtured with faith, can overcome anything.